Heyo.
Good health to you. Take care now.
Let's talk.
Why not?
Satisfied?
Come now. Aye, that would do it.
Yeah. Heyo. Yeah. Yeah.
Plague and... Plague and pestilence have struck in Merhojed.
What the hell is going on? Why are you standing around yelling in the middle of the road?
For Christ's sake, lad. Don't you hold your life dear? There's a plague in Merhojed. Go while you still can.
Maybe I could help you out.
Did you not hear me? There's a plague in Merhojed. Let the Lord strike me down if I'm lying, but go ahead if you doubt my word. Farewell.
To heel, mutt. Heel.
And get a move on, because you really don't smell good.
What happened here?
Horror of horrors, Master. We were attacked by some bandits, and then the plague broke out.
Jesus Christ.
That's right. The Almighty has sent this punishment on us.
These bandits, who were they?
Some thieving rabble. What do I know? Maybe those damned Cumans, but they spoke Czech. Ask the captive at the Melichars.
How did you manage to fight them off?
Well, we were lucky. Young Straw saw the gang a little way out of the village and ran to warn old Melichar. If it wasn't for that, none of us would be here.
It looks like you fended them off, though. I can't see any burned houses.
They had no time for that, but they've left us with fresh graves. Young Straw himself got cut up something terrible, and a few others. We've a number of wounded, and now the plague to crown it all. Christ preserve us.
Melichar, Straw. Those names are new to me.
They're locals. Melichar's been in charge here since old vassal Smill from Neuhof passed away. May God grant him eternal peace. And Straw, that's the local woodsman. Poor fellow. The bandits killed his son, and his wife has the disease.
Where will I find Melichar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melichar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
And the disease? Tell me something about it.
I don't want to tempt fate by talking about it. Makes me shudder to think of it. There's not much to tell anyway. It hit us just after that rabble left. First the horses died, then livestock, and now it's people. Like Melichar's wife, poor thing.
I'm looking for Matthias. I think he works at the stud here.
Matthias. Wait, I know. He's not been here long, isn't that right?
Not long, it's true.
Well, those bastards got him. He's laid up at the stud now. His arm's in a bad way, but at least he's still alive.
Thank you. Thank you, that's all.
Good luck, then.
Pray to God the worst is over.
Are you Melichar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Sir Adzig won't help us with that, any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No one could have known what would happen.
If Sir Adzig hadn't pissed off into the woods and stayed in the camp, they would never have dared attack us.
If Sir Radzig hadn't gone into the woods, he'd have left so many to attack here that you'd never have fought them off.
It makes no odds now. We've a different problem to deal with.
If there's anything I can do, just tell me.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
It might have crossed your mind to send someone there sooner.
People are barely venturing outside their own homes, they're so scared. And word has got around that the plague is raging here. If someone met us wandering about, well, I'd fear the worst. And besides, you're the envoy of Sir Adzig Kobyler himself. Your word will carry more weight in the monastery than some lowly peasants.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
Take care now.
What? Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I'm old Straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife. You bastard.
Calm down, Straw.
You're telling me to calm down? Why the fuck should I be calm?
Because if you don't calm down, I'll make you regret it.
Oh, now we're talking. Come on then, you bastard. Come on. Ah! Leave me be, all of you. Leave me be. Don't speak to me. Leave me be.
Fever. Just like Merhojed's wife.
Ja, kan I...
Fever. Just like Merhojed's wife.
Oh, sweet Mother of God. Lord, please end this. Please, no more suffering. No. My God. No. Let me sleep.
What do you need?
You're from Melikar's farm.
Yes?
I need to talk to the captive.
Oh, no, no. Melikar forbade me to let anyone near him.
You don't have to let me in. You might just forget to lock the door.
Why would I forget to lock the door?
Well, you might find some groschen lying on the ground. That can make a person forget things.
Oh, I see. And how many groschen might be lying on the ground?
What about this?
That's not enough. It'll stay just between the two of us?
You can be sure of it.
All right, then. God bless.
You're not allowed inside. If you want to go in, talk to Melikar. God be with you.
I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melikar's orders.
I urgently need to question that prisoner. People's lives depend on it.
So does mine. Melikar will kill me if I let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melikar. Take care now.
I need to talk to that captive.
You again. I told you, no one gets inside. Take care now.
Huh?
Peace at last. For now, anyway.
If you want to go in, talk to Melikar. You're not...
It looks like he's caught that sickness. What am I going to do? If he dies, I'll be right back where I started.
Oh, sweet Mary, Mother of God. I can't bear the pain. Lord, please end this. Please, no more suffering.
Grant him a place in thy kingdom. Grant him eternal rest. Amen. Who are you? Can't you see we have the plague cross on the door?
My name is Henry. I'm going to the monastery to get help.
It's long past time. The Lord's already taken my poor Anthony. And what do you want from me?
I need to know how the illness afflicted your husband.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. But first help me bury my husband. I'm too weak. And Melichar said the dead should be buried at once.
Tell me first. I need to go around other infected houses too. But then I'll be back and I'll help you.
Thank you. But please do come back. I can't do it alone. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like it'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. It must have hurt terribly.
Thank you.
Merciful.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
He took me into his garrison.
Hal, the blacksmith's boy, in the service of his lordship. Who'd have ever thought it? My luck hasn't been so good.
You survived. That's something to thank God for.
True enough. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Damn! Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt?
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melichar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melichar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
I can tell you what he'll do with him. He'll hand him over to Sir Radzig's envoy. Me.
I doubt Melichar will let him go willingly. The folk here are baying for blood. Lives have been lost. First the raid, and now this plague. God knows what they'll do.
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melichar let him have it over the head.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young...
I can tell you what...
I doubt Melichar...
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melikar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid, the horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Vurba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melikar and Straw have sick ones at home.
Can I ask you a bit about Merhojed?
I haven't been here long enough to learn much, but ask away.
Can you tell me something about Old Straw?
He's a woodcutter, tough as they come, and a hothead. He's been out of his mind since his boy died.
It's normal to grieve, eh?
Depends how you look at it. Folk are afraid he'll snap or drink himself to death. What's worse, his wife caught the sickness, and he's not taking care of her.
Where can I find this Straw?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Straw lives in the right-hand one.
What's Melikar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge here, but he was killed in Neuhof.
I know.
Sir Hanush hasn't had time to appoint a new vassal, and folk need someone to speak for them, so they picked Melikar.
Since when do subjects govern a village in place of the lord?
What can we do? If it weren't for Melikar, those bandits would have torched the place to the ground. The villagers won't follow anyone else.
What's Melikar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill you.
I know.
Sir Hanush?
Thank God you had someone here who could take the reins.
Aye.
Where does Melikar live?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Melikar lives in the left-hand one.
Have mercy on his soul.
It's done.
Thank you. Now please take him there. Oh, Lord. Why has this happened? Why? Anthony, God.
Will you please tell me about his illness?
Certainly. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like it'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. It must have hurt terribly.
Thank you.